What's up, music lovers? Welcome back to Jazzy Perry. Today, we're diving into the story of one of the most talked about moments in South African hip-hop history, particularly involving A-Reece and Nasty C. Here's a detailed breakdown of what happened, the event and the no-show. The concert. In 2017, Nasty C was headlining a major event in South Africa, and A-Reece was booked to perform alongside him. The event was a big deal because Nasty C was at the height of his career, and having A-Reece, who was also gaining significant traction at the time, was a big draw for the concert. A-Reece no-show. On the day of the event, A-Reece, one of SA's hottest young talents, was nowhere to be found. Despite being booked, he didn't show up for his performance. The absence left fans disappointed and led to a lot of speculation about what went wrong. Many were left wondering whether it was a personal issue, a business conflict, or something deeper between the two artists. The fallout. Fans were quick to take to social media to express their frustration. The no-show caused a stir, with some fans accusing A-Reece of being unprofessional or disrespectful. Others, however, wondered whether there was a deeper rift between the two artists, especially because Nasty C and A-Reece were often compared and had a history of tension. Nasty C's response. Nasty C responded to the no-show with some cryptic posts on Twitter. While he didn't call A-Reece out directly, his tweets suggested disappointment and frustration. He even hinted that it wasn't the first time something like this had happened, implying that this wasn't just an isolated incident. A-Reece silence. A-Reece, on the other hand, remained silent about the situation for a long time, fueling the speculation. He didn't address the no-show directly, which only added fuel to the fire. His silence was seen by some as a sign of arrogance, while others interpreted it as him not caring enough to respond to drama or negative situations. Possible reasons for the no-show. Tension between A-Reece and Nasty C. The two had always been compared by fans due to their similar styles and trajectories in the rap game. Some speculated that the no-show might have been a result of rivalry or friction between the two artists. There was always this underlying tension in the air as both were seen as leading figures in the new wave of SA hip-hop. Business conflicts. Another theory was that there were business disagreements behind the scenes. A-Reece, who was known for being independent at the time, he had left ambitious entertainment earlier in his career, may have had issues with how the event was being handled, or he may have been unhappy with the terms of his booking. Personal reasons. There were also whispers about personal issues or reasons why A-Reece might not have shown up. Some pointed to mental health struggles or personal struggles that could have contributed to his absence. The growing friction between them. Tension and disputes. The no-show added fuel to an already brewing rivalry. A-Reece had left ambitious entertainment, and during this time, his relationship with Nasty C was already a subject of intrigue for fans. Some speculated that there was a deeper animosity between the two, but neither artist openly addressed the situation. Public perception. Fans and media began to create narratives about the relationship between A-Reece and Nasty C. A-Reece's decision to not show up at the concert was seen by some as a betrayal or a way to undermine Nasty C's event. On the other hand, some fans defended A-Reece, claiming that it might have been a misunderstanding or a personal issue. Impact on their careers. For Nasty C, the incident reinforced his reputation as the leader of South African hip-hop. Despite the tension, Nasty C continued to rise in popularity, and his career trajectory remained solid. However, for A-Reece, the no-show was seen as a moment where his reputation took a hit. It added to the image of him being difficult to work with, although he did recover from it by continuing to build his loyal fan base and focus on his music. After the incident, later statements. Over time, A-Reece addressed the situation in his music and interviews, but never directly apologized or explained the no-show. Nasty C also continued to do his thing, often alluding to the friction in interviews, but it was always kept relatively low-key. The two have since made peace on some level, but the no-show event remains a point of contention in the history of South African hip-hop. The legacy of the incident. The no-show became one of the iconic moments in SA hip-hop history, contributing to the ongoing narrative of competition and tension in the industry. It's one of those moments that fans still talk about when discussing A-Reece and Nasty C's relationship. This incident was a pivotal moment in SA hip-hop, highlighting the dynamics of the industry, the rivalry between A-Reece and Nasty C, and the pressures that come with being at the top of the game. It's also a perfect topic for discussion because of how much it added to the already established fanbase tension and public curiosity about the two artists. After the incident where A-Reece no-showed Nasty C's concert, the tension between the two artists became more evident, and Nasty C was quite open about his feelings toward A-Reece. In an interview, Nasty C expressed his frustration with A-Reece's unprofessional behavior, particularly around the concert no-show. Here's how Nasty C responded. Nasty C's statement. In interviews following the no-show incident, Nasty C made it clear that he was deeply disappointed by A-Reece's actions. He mentioned that A-Reece's failure to show up was disrespectful, not only to him, but also to the fans and organizers of the event. He stated that he would never work with A-Reece again, as he felt that the no-show was an indication of a lack of professionalism and commitment. Nasty C emphasized that in the music industry, you have to respect your word and your audience, and he saw A-Reece's actions as a breach of that respect. While Nasty C didn't necessarily call A-Reece out directly by name, his words made it clear who he was referring to, especially since A-Reece was the only artist who had failed to show up for the concert. Why Nasty C said he'd never work with A-Reece. Professionalism. Nasty C's core issue was the lack of professionalism in the situation. In his eyes, no matter the personal differences or issues between artists, the professional responsibility to show up and perform should always come first. Public disrespect. Nasty C felt disrespected not only by the no-show but also by how it was handled publicly. There were no clear reasons given, and the silence from A-Reece's side fueled more speculation, making the situation worse. Industry loyalty. Nasty C's decision to speak out also had to do with setting an example for up-and-coming artists. He wanted to ensure that there was a standard of professionalism within the industry, especially for those who were aspiring to be at the level he was. Impact of his statement. This statement caused a lot of buzz within the SA hip-hop community. Fans began to draw a line between the two artists, further amplifying the tension and rivalry between them. For a period, Nasty C was very vocal about his discontent with A-Reece, but over time, both artists shifted their focus more on their music and personal growth. While the public animosity wasn't fully resolved, it did quiet down, with both artists continuing to dominate the industry in their own lanes. In essence, Nasty C's words following the concert incident made it clear that the no-show left a significant mark on their relationship, and he was adamant about never collaborating with A-Reece due to the lack of professionalism. However, time passed, and while the tension cooled, that moment in SA hip-hop history is still referenced by fans when discussing the dynamic between the two.